Hey guys, I got my buddy Kyle Sandinger here, and this is another Ben Maier movie review. That sounds kind of stupid, but we're gonna call it that for now. And Kyle, what are we reviewing today?
We are reviewing the great X-Men movie, Dark Phoenix.
Outstanding, spectacular. It's one of the most amazing films you will ever see, and by that I mean it's really not.
It is
We were lying when we said that. Kind of like with the last one we did.
it is quite an embarrassing end to the X-Men franchise.
Yeah, it was an embarrassing and kind of disappointing end to the X-Men franchise that Fox, 20th Century Fox put out, and I honestly walked into the movie thinking that it was going to be better than it actually was, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, that was stupid.
I mean, I kept my head up high, you know.
Yeah, Kyle gives movies the benefit of the doubt, and even he came out of the movie being like,
Yeah. I had my head up high, you know. I'm just like, I don't care what the reviewers say. I'm just gonna keep my head up high. I'm gonna watch this movie, and whatever I see and like or dislike, that's what I'm gonna think. And I came out, and I'm like, man, I just wasted $6 to watch that movie.
we wasted $9 actually because we watched it in 3D.
$9.
Which I don't advise anyways because the 3D's bad too.
Yeah, that was weird watching in 3D. Felt like half the movie wasn't even in 3D.
I think that's the way it usually is, but nowadays at least. Yeah, so basically, Rotten Tomatoes gave this 23%. The audience score was higher, like 64, and I honestly don't understand why. I mean, people.
I mean, I can sort of see it. Maybe they just have sympathy for it, but
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't give the movie justice. It's pretty pathetic.
That is true. Like, we will tell you why we actually think it's a poor movie now, because we also would give it like a 23, or maybe even I'd probably give it a lower score than 23. But yeah, so basically, like, we'll start off with saying the positives. Like, what did we say was good about the movie? Like the CGI, like from an actual like visual standpoint,
Yeah.
it was pretty. Like, I mean,
it's 2019, so
and it was a high budget movie.
if the animation and CGI, if that's not good in 2019, then why are you making movies? That's just
true.
that's what I think.
That is true. So yeah, that's what we're saying is there's nothing wrong with the CGI. The CGI was actually pretty good and all that, and throughout, and the actual. I thought there was something else good. Is there something else good about that movie? Oh, the music.
Yeah, the
that's
music
right.
was decent.
The music by
Hans Zimmer.
the legendary Hans Zimmer. It was good. It captivated me a bit throughout it. I felt that like one point it didn't really fit it. Maybe at a couple times it didn't fit it, but that's not really his fault. And
Yeah,
I don't know how much good quality movie they actually had to work with for the music. So since I assume they did that after,
probably.
which or maybe they didn't since it took so long to shoot this movie. That's another problem. They had production problems, but
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily have to do with the end result. But now looking back, we're like, they started filming this movie in like what, July 2017?
I think
And usually,
something like that.
a movie would come out like a year later, and or they'd be finishing post production like a year later. But it's almost 2 years after that, after they started filming it, and they still didn't put out a great product. So it's like, what were they doing? Where did it go wrong? Should they really have released this? Well, they basically had to at this point. But yeah, actually, we still haven't told you what all was wrong with it. But we did say what was good about it. So all you fanboys and stuff out there who thought it was good or whatever.
I mean, I just feel like some of the characters from the newer X-Men, I mean, I can see that, but in total, the characters cannot bring the movie to a excellent standard that previous X-Men movies have been at, in my opinion. I would say one of the things that sort of ticked me off was that probably the best character in the whole movie, played by Jennifer Lawrence, what's her name?
Mystique, or Raven as she's usually called, because when she's good, and she's like
Raven.
good now, or she was, it's over.
They like killed her off probably like...
Third the way through the movie or
I was
so.
going to say like a quarter to a third of the way through the movie, and it's like, Really?
Which another point is, you could actually tell that from the trailer, trailers, which isn't exactly great, because they like basically give it away that she's gonna die because of the way they made the trailers.
I mean, Ben, he told me in the theater while we were watching it that she's
that they basically gave it away. I mean,
I did not. I don't think I hardly watched any of those. So
yeah, you're fine if you're fine if you're like him, but if you didn't want it like spoiled in that capacity, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. Bad Fox for giving us those trailers, or whoever distributed them, but yeah. Anyways, so from an actual superhero movie standpoint, I wasn't completely horrible. Like we said, the CGI was good, which is important in superhero movies and stuff, and all of the actual fight sequences, like they were actually relatively good.
That's usually like a mainstay of a superhero movie, you know, like some superhero movies that are alright, you know, they have crappy dialogue between characters, but when it comes to the fight scenes, you know, those are usually what the people care about and usually what the movies do well at.
And it did pretty well, I think. I think a lot of the actual like sequences and the as something I read, somebody said the way that the characters used their powers like with each other in coordination with each other was good. It was like something you might see in an MCU movie when you know, a couple of heroes are using their powers to take down a baddie, you know, or whatever at the same time, and it was good teamwork, and they brought that together well in the movie. But from an actual movie standpoint, it's not a good movie. It was relatively bad. Like the script. I mean, the script was okay. The script itself was okay.
It was just the acting of it. It was not. Some of them, like we were saying with Jennifer Lawrence, I think she had a great character. Like.
Right.
She did with what she could, but some of the other characters, they were not to the point at all.
Right, like the actual script, like the lines weren't like too terribly stupid or something. Like I'm saying, like the actual problem with the movie was like the story itself, like the storyline, the plot. That was bad. Like
that was
crappy. Like the actual plot and storyline of the movie was the main problem. Like. Some of the acting I thought at times wasn't the greatest, but at other times, you know, there is a lot of talent in these movies, so they did the best they could with the lines and stuff they were given. But the actual plot of the movie, it was confusing. It seems like it was like put together over 2 years, and they threw stuff together.
Honestly,
and rushed at times, and we were confused. I didn't know what was going on.
Honestly, I don't even remember what the plot is right now. It was.
Yeah,
from A to B to Z in like 3 seconds. I'm like, what just happened when I was watching?
Jessica Chastain showed up in the movie as some like random character, and then she died 2 seconds in, only to be replaced by some random alien who's like, you know, or can heal from a bunch of wounds, and just seem completely random. And like, I don't know who those characters are. And
like they put no story into those. Like they were just brought in, and for us, we were just like, who are these people? Why are they doing this?
We were watching something unfold, but we didn't know what was unfolding because they didn't explain anything. And
I mean, eventually we learned out what they were doing, but like we never knew like what that race is. We don't know like what the alien is doing here.
Right, and how they really tie into wanting the Dark Phoenix or the Phoenix Force, whatever it's called. I don't know if they actually ever called it a Dark Phoenix in that, but I'd have to say roll credits anyway. So. But yeah, I was kind of confused about her at the end too, or you know, revelation of I'm like she gave the voiceover at the end, even though she like exploded into the Phoenix Force or whatever. And I was a bit confused by that, but
I don't know. I was
like her storyline itself was somebody described the plot of the movie as being like simple or something I read, and that may be true, and I'm sure maybe it's a stereotypical. Superhero movie storyline stuff, but they probably could have done better with it. Like, it's still kind of disappointing. And
it is.
Jean Grey. I don't know if we've said her name yet, but Jean Grey is the main character.
Yes.
As she turns into the quote unquote Dark Phoenix, she gains the Phoenix Force, which in the end she is able to kind of like master or like use it for good, I guess, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm still confused. What really happened?
Yeah, I'd say like in the end, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I don't know if she's actually still alive or something, but Maybe she is the Phoenix Force now or something like that. I don't know.
That was just
she's
confusing.
embedded with it. It's like intertwined. I don't even know.
I don't know. I was thinking that, with the Phoenix in the name, like after she died, I was thinking that maybe she'd be reborn, because Phoenixes are reborn through their ashes.
Yeah, something like that. He's the expert on that kind of.
I was thinking
stuff.
that maybe they could pull something like that and it'd make it somewhat interesting, but they never did.
And by the way, so you guys don't stick around pointlessly. We saw no post-credit scene at all afterwards. Somebody somewhere I read said there was one, but we did not see one. We stayed the entire credits, so it's just a bunch of the usual credits.
Yep.
Lots of visual effects artists, which good job to them on this movie at the least.
Yeah.
Good job to the musicians and Hans Zimmer. Well, we'll appreciate the good parts of it, I guess, and yeah, we didn't really see anything about Walt Disney in the credits, did we? I don't know if they wanted to claim this, honestly.
If I was Walt Disney, I wouldn't claim it either.
Like since the whole Walt Disney Studios or whatever they're called, the company, they purchased like 20th Century Fox and a lot of the all that stuff. They like fully purchased 20th Century Fox and 21st Century Fox that you guys don't need to worry about. So, and that went through in like the end of March or something, or the end of February. So technically, all these, technically that film was made by Fox, produced by Fox, but it was released by Walt Disney Studios or Motion Pictures, whatever it is. It used to be Buena Vista Pictures.
Yeah.
That released stuff, but now they changed the name. But whatever. But I don't remember seeing them, but I wouldn't want to claim it if I was Disney. But yeah, but the Fox reign of X-Men movies seems to be over now. So maybe Disney Marvel Studios, fully Marvel Studios, can give us something better with the X-Men. And I think they're planning on doing that in the MCU sometime in the future.
My goodness.
Hopefully not the future past, Days of Future Past. That was kind of a mess. That movie was a mess, but that's for a different time. Yeah. You got anything else to add?
I don't know, like, we were talking after the movie, and I'm like, yeah, it's like, we were talking about how, like, long it took to make this movie and produce it and whatnot, and honestly, it reminded me of video games that people are so hyped up about, like Half-Life 3 and Star Wars 1313. And, you saw those at E3, well, at least Star Wars 1313, you see that
right.
E3, and everybody's like, whoa, this gameplay is freaking cool. And then, it comes like 3 years later, and they're still working on it, and all of a sudden they just stopped doing it. They just cut the production and everything, and that's honestly what it felt like to me. Like, they just had to...
Yeah, they had to smash something together and just get
had
it out.
To glue it together and hope that it was good. And
yeah, it might have been better than what they would have released, say, like a year ago when they were supposed to. But it shows how what this movie, like how good it is and stuff. Because the box office numbers are terrible so far. It's like the worst X-Men movie so far at the box office, and like, I don't know how many people they actually got hyped up for this movie, and it was just kind of disappointing after seeing the last movies. The last one being in 2016. People, they might have had a sliver of hope that maybe this one was going to be good, but other people are just like disinterested in with all the actual MCU movies being released and all these other like good action movies and stuff. People like just kind of brush by this, and even though there was quite a bit of advertising, I think nobody cared.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, you just had Endgame that came out. Well, I mean, that came out...
Breaking crap ton of records.
I mean, that came out a little bit ago.
Like a month and a half now.
So, that was a good movie. Anyways,
right.
About past that. But now you have people waiting for Spider-Man, which comes out... in
July 2nd, so less than a month.
Less than a month, and what else?
That one's looking to be good. We no other like actual MCU movies this year, I don't think, but... there is other Disney movies and other good movies that should come out this year.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other movies that I would say put that one below the other one. So, like, it didn't have... It may have had the attention on TV, but, it... With the past ones, people... They were all right, but, like... I feel like people they're like, I don't know, man. This one.
Yeah,
seems
the
a little
X-Men
fishy.
franchise kind of it's seen the end of its reign. So
Yeah, it's definitely.
once upon a time there were some good films. Logan was a great film.
Yes.
It's on TV actually right now, but yeah. But the actual X-Men movies themselves have gotten just
yeah, it's
okay, and then they just seem to degrade from 2014 or so. So
yeah, they've gotten very
2013.
stale. The movies have.
But yeah,
It's
maybe Disney can turn stuff around. You know, Disney World Studios, all that. You know, the Mouse House and whatnot, and
I just got one more thing to say about it. To me, it's a sad ending to it. Really, a good franchise. Really, it's
I agree. Yeah,
the first superhero franchise.
yeah, it's like the
Ever come
premier.
out. I
It's
mean,
the longest running.
Yeah, it is
Franchise,
from
superhero
early
franchise.
2000s.
It's been on gone for almost 20 years, and
From the early 2000s to now, and it's just a sad way to see, like, the superhero franchise just go out and
yeah, they went out in like literal flames. Like
yeah, it was.
it bombed at the box office and stuff, or it is bombing. But that it'd be like that sometimes. That does happen, and like I said, we'll see what Disney can do, Marvel Studios can do with this, and maybe they can give us more promising X-Men, Fantastic Four, hopefully
Hopefully.
movies, and in the the next 5 years, 6 years or so, and hopefully we're around for that. And yeah, man, we need to go get some water and a cookie. And yeah, the usual. Make sure you subscribe, click the like button, blah 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 blah, so you get notified of more movie reviews and stuff. And let us know if we should of any movie reviews that we should do. And I know I'm talking really fast, but we've been talking for long enough. So yeah, maybe we should do some other ones. Oh yeah, I'm getting too old for this, guys. Not really, but